Listen here, banker. You've been ripping us off with high fees, high interest charges for years, and we're sick of it.
Yeah.
I don't care what we paid for that house in 2005. It don't matter. We're getting it back now.
Yeah, we want that $250,000 house, and here's $30,000.
So hand it over, banker.
I don't think so. My gun's bigger, and we're not getting it for that price.
No. Hello, everybody. This is Moving Forward TV, and my name is Barry Horvath, and this is your local market update.
Hello, and I am DeLynn Gaston. Thanks for joining us today. On today's show, we actually have a guest today.
Ooh.
Yay.
Ooh. Whoa!
Yay! We don't have to talk the whole time ourselves.
Wait a minute. You look like that banker.
That was me.
Wait. Does this mean anything to you?
Yeah. I forgot to tell you, you got that thing on still. I think you might want to take that off.
Oh, yeah.
You're trying to start a new trend here on the internet? Yeah,
Actually,
I don't know if that's going to catch on, though. It's kind of like, it's kind of 1800s stuff.
A paisley bandana.
Hey, it's hot.
Yeah, I know.
Literally.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be looking for it. You can get these at Walmart. You can get them anywhere now. So actually, well, thanks for pointing that out, Jamie. I would have never known that was even on me.
That was my dog's, actually.
Stop it. So today we have a real guest star. He is not a banker. Actually, his name is Jamie Meloni, and he is a real estate professional, and he is an expert on listing REO properties, which are the bankers, which, by the way, that gun, I know that was fake, okay? So, you're not scaring me with that. He's been a top-level producer with Coldwell Banker. He's been named in the top 100 with the Wall Street Journal. He is a nationwide top 10 producer of all of Coldwell Banker. So
we're running with the big dogs.
Yeah, man. His big gun just goes right with his big production.
That's right.
So he obviously knows a little bit about the real estate market and what's going on out there. So we thought we'd bring him on with us, not just for his big guns, but maybe to give us some good information on the real estate market. And why are you looking at my hat?
Oh. You look like Woody, from Toy Story.
All right, so now I got bedhead.
Now
okay?
you got hat hair.
All right. So we'll just put this over here. So.
All right.
So you want to talk about real estate?
Yeah, maybe we should talk about real estate.
But you're my favorite deputy.
Moving on to real estate. So, first of all, Jamie, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for inviting me on.
Taking time out of your extremely busy schedule. So you are a listing agent for
Coldwell Banker in the Tampa Bay region.
And work with a gajillion banks.
Yeah, I've been in business since 2000. Is that a word?
Gajillion?
Is that a number?
No.
A gajillion.
We already established a rule. If you can't spell it, you cannot say it on the show.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm a bank-owned listing specialist. You may hear me say REO. I think you said that up front. REO, for the audience not familiar, stands for Real Estate Owned. It's an acronym used by banks within the industry to categorize properties that they own, and it's a separate division of the bank, and historically that acronym has kind of caught on. So when we say REOs, we're talking about foreclosures.
Not Kevin Cronin.
No, absolutely not.
So you guys, you know who that is?
No.
REO Speedwagon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I've had that question.
I'm sorry, I went sports. I figured you were going down like
I've
I was
actually-
going
I've
to get
had
the buck
actually people-
player.
With the changes.
I've had people ask me if that's related to that, and I was like, no. Then I had to explain to
Have
them.
you really?
Yes.
Isn't that funny what people think of?
And
Yeah,
so-
we just ignore him. He just goes into his own thing.
I got my own show going on over here.
No problem. But yeah, so list for about 45 of the different bank asset management companies and servicers, and today sold about 1,100 properties, and I work with Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, HUD, which is Department of Housing and Urban Development, Chase, you name it. I've probably worked with them, and I can probably tell you anything you need to know about how to compete in the foreclosure sales market.
Wow.
You bring up an interesting thing, and I want to start with that. And I know for our realtor watchers out there, they already know this stuff, but we have a lot of home buyers out there who watch the show as well. And I wanted to bring a good point that you bring. The differences between an REO property owned by a bank versus Fannie Mae versus Freddie Mac versus HUD versus a short sale. There's a lot of confusion, and I think a lot
Who's your favorite?
Favorite to list for HUD.
HUD?
Really? Yeah.
Why is that?
They're the easiest to work for. They're less demanding than the other banks. When you're a listing agent for the banks, you're tasked with hundreds of different things to do, paying in addition to paying the bills, submitting for reimbursement. So you hear complaints a lot of times you can't get a hold of the agent. Well, if you're dealing with an REO agent, it's probably because they're dealing with a neighbor issue, an HOE issue, a billing issue,
or they're on some TV show randomly.
Maybe you're on a TV show. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So your phone keeps blowing up here, and
And so that's very time-consuming. But with the Department of Housing and Urban Development, it's we don't have those things that take our time as much. And the offer system is handled online at HUDHomestore.com. Listing agents don't present the offers; they take the offer presentation from us.
So it's
we don't have any
easier
bills.
from your standpoint.
Yeah, it's
From a real estate
What about from a buyer
Well,
standpoint?
and I was just going to say, please tell them what a HUD-owned property is.
A HUD-owned property is a property that was once under an FHA loan. The borrower, when the FHA insures mortgages, so when a borrower goes to Wells Fargo or Bank of America, the idea is that they come in with a lesser down payment, and the government insures the lender in the event of a foreclosure. And so FHA loans are not, being funded by the government; they're being funded by the lender. And then, if needed, the borrower does not, conform to the loan standards. The lender will foreclose on them, and then they file an insurance claim with the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and then the property transfers over to them, and then they reclaim the property, and then it's put on the market as a HUD home. And it's nice in the sense that it's a completely segmented segment of the market. It's completely different than how all the other REOs are disposed of. The offers are done online, and that's the biggest difference between other REO properties, is that the listing agents don't see or present the offers. All agents have fair and equal chance to submit offers online. There's no way a listing agent can help or hinder your ability to get an offer out. In addition, they put investor restrictions on the property, so homeowners have a chance to bid on the properties before investors do. That way they're not competing up against these cash offers that control the market, especially so much in the Tampa Bay region, which is 50% cash controlled. Wow. So they give priority to owner-occupant buyers with the idea of neighborhood stabilization.
So I'm a buyer and I want to buy, I see a HUD home that I want to buy, and I'm working with a realtor. My realtor can go online with me or help me go online. Does the realtor still get a commission?
Yeah,
in the deal?
it's all the same, other than the fact that the listing agents don't see or present the offers, and all the property information is found on the website.
How quickly, like with a normal Mr. and Mrs. seller, my realtor will put the offer in and it goes to the listing agent and they present it to the homeowners, and usually within 24 to 48 hours, in most cases, you get your answer back, yes or no, or a counteroffer, something like that. How long does HUD take once you submit your offer in? Does it vary property to property, or?
No, that's the nice thing about HUD is they have a bid clock on the website, so when the bid period expires.
Oh, okay.
When a property is first listed, there is an initial 10-day period where offers can be submitted, but nothing can be accepted, and that is on insurable properties, FHA insurable property. There's an exemption for properties that are not considered to be FHA insurable. That's a 5-day window, but the majority of them are considered to be FHA insurable, meaning the buyer can get an FHA loan. So there's a bid clock when the property is first listed on the HUD website, and it starts at 10 days and it counts down. Following the expiration of that bid clock, the following bid day, you'll get an answer on your offer. And then if there is not an acceptable bid in the system at that time, it rolls to 24-hour bid periods. So each day is a new bid period. This confuses a lot of people. The bids open at midnight and then they expire at the following midnight. So if you go in on a Tuesday and you see at 12 o'clock in the afternoon there's 12 hours remaining into the bid period, you put in your offer. On Wednesday, they're going to review that offer. So what happens on Wednesday, though, because it requires human interaction to close out the bid system, the property remains on the HUD website. And I always say if the property's on the HUD...
Are these government employees?
No, they're government contractors.
Okay.
Yeah. And if the property remains on the site, you can still submit an offer. But you got to keep in mind that if the property, if the bids from the prior day have not been reviewed, then you may your offer may never be seen. So Tuesday's bids have to be reviewed before Wednesdays, and then Wednesday's bids get reviewed on Thursday. A lot of realtors don't understand that, and it creates a lot of confusion.
And I think they shy away from making offers on HUD-owned properties because of that.
A lot of realtors shy away from HUD properties
because maybe they don't understand it.
They don't understand
so.
it. And I do HUD training classes, and to really get into the specifics, of it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours for me to train realtors on everything they need to know about how to sell HUD properties effectively. But it's a great niche market for the proper selling agents out there because so many of the realtors in the community shy away from that, and they can really find some good deals for their buyers on these properties.
So in 10 days, ultimately, the buyer is going to know if they got the property or not. Unlike a short sale, which could be 10 years.
Yeah, and that's only on the initial list. If that's when the property is first listed.
Right.
If it's been on the market for over 10 days, then you're going to know within 24 business hours after that point.
So you're not going to be in limbo. So
yeah.
And do you have a chance to counter offer or something? Like if you bid and...
Well, on any property, HUD has a minimum net acceptable to HUD that is not disclosed to anybody. Once somebody hits
you know that
net, no, I don't even know that. But they do disclose it on a...
Come on, you know.
Well, they do if they counter you, because that's the interesting thing about HUD counters.
So they do counter.
Yeah, if they counter, if there's no other offers in the system, they will counter a bid, and they will reveal the minimum net to HUD on the counter. And at that point, you'll know the minimum that they'll take. A lot of people will try to counter a little bit more, and they keep getting the same counter back. And I've seen this through the years. Once they give you that counter, the minimum net to HUD, that's the price right there.
Really?
So HUD is very systematic versus the other banks. They have their ways of doing things, and they don't deviate from them like the other banks will.
Now, if that happens, and pretty much now you know what the price is, you can't really guide people with that, can you?
No, I don't.
Because they don't call you.
No, and I don't see the counter.
Online.
I don't see the offers, and I don't see the counters either. I just know this from experience with my own buyers.
Okay.
But when an agent calls me for guidance, and I say, "Well, what was your counter?" And they're like, "Well, if we offer this," I was like, "You're going to get the same counter tomorrow," because now they're countering. And if you put in an offer today, they review it tomorrow, and you get a counter tomorrow. You've now offered in the new bid period. So what is today? Tuesday. Tomorrow they would be offering in the Wednesday's bid period. But you got to keep in mind other offers could still come in during the Wednesday's bid period.
Someone else might outbid you.
Somebody could still outbid you. So your counter
steal the property.
And steal the property, out from underneath of you. Because each day they've got to review all the bids that come in during that bid period, and then the highest net to HUD wins.
Okay.
And it has nothing to do with cash or financing. The highest net, even if a cash offer is just $1 under a financed offer, they have to go with the financed offer.
Now, sticking for this segment, maybe, look, we've got only 2 minutes left, apparently, but so talk fast.
Because you've asked like 11 questions, and I've been just sitting here listening.
All right, go ahead.
No.
Do you have one?
Feel free.
Condition of the properties. When it is HUD, we all know that when people were vacating the property, a lot of times they took like every appliance with them. They ripped out the air conditioning and all of that kind of stuff. Is HUD doing any repairs to those?
No.
Are they making any concessions for anything like that?
No, all HUD properties are conveyed as is. Other banks will work with buyers a lot of times on appraisal conditions, but not HUD. So I always tell selling agents, if you're going to submit an offer contingent on financing, be sure that you talk with the loan officer, maybe take some pictures if something doesn't seem right. Up until a couple months ago, the properties were put on the market with FHA appraisals already in place. So a buyer could know right then and there if they could get an FHA loan on the property. As of last month, though, HUD is no longer supplying appraisals to the borrowers, and borrowers have to get their own appraisal now. And this has kind of created some confusion with selling agents as well as the HUD government contractors, as they're not really certain how to guide buyers just yet, because the FHA, the HUD property has been appraised to FHA standards, but the list price is no longer the appraised value necessarily as it was in the past, and borrowers are no longer being supplied a copy of the appraisal. This eliminated the need for appraisal conditions and lender required repairs.
Sure.
Any repair issues could be escrowed and done after closing, given that the buyer used an FHA loan. But alternative forms of financing, alternative forms of financing, give the need for a new appraisal, and the appraiser could say needs this, this, and this, or the underwriter.
And we're ending up with a 203K.
Yeah.
Is HUD accepting offers on their website on a HUD home for a 203K?
Yeah.
If everything's ripped
Yeah,
out
and
of
that's
the house?
usually the recommended offer, 203K,
203K.
because these properties always need work. Very rarely do you get something perfectly clean.
203K, for those watching, is a rehab program, FHA rehab mortgage program. Okay, we have to go to break. Sorry.
Oh, thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. We'll be back in just a minute.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
My name is Dr. Becerra from New Tampa Pediatric Dental, providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
When I go to Dr. B, they don't do anything to hurt you.
I used to be afraid, but I'm not now. I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore. I love to see Dr. B.
Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
The environment here is really kid-friendly, family-friendly. The parents are welcome to watch.
It's definitely been a different atmosphere since Dr. Becerra has come on. It's very inviting and welcoming, and the children just enjoy coming here all around.
My middle son did not like to come to the dentist, but now he loves to come to the Beehive.
You don't have to be afraid to go to the dentist.
Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Mortgages don't need to be complicated. At Norcom, we're here to guide you through the process. By following our tried and true path to success, we make homes happen. To get started, give us a call or apply online. A trusted mortgage consultant will reach out to you to find out what your goals are. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new home or refinance your current home, we are dedicated to helping you achieve your goals. At Norcom, we'll provide a best-in-class customer experience. Once a plan is established, your mortgage consultant will analyze your income, assets, and credit profile in order to customize a plan for you. If you're planning on moving in the next few years, we might suggest an adjustable rate mortgage to be the best option for you. If you're a veteran, we'll get you started on a VA loan with 0% down. And if you're thinking long-term, a 30-year fixed loan might be your best fit. Our professionals are up to date on market trends and will help you make the best decision in choosing your rate. After we've found the program that's best for you, we'll then need to collect some information, including pay stubs, bank statements, and tax forms. Our underwriting team steers a loan through the approval process to verify that all the information you've provided is correct. As the underwriting process is taking place, an appraisal is ordered to determine the value of your home. A professional, local appraiser specializing in your area will determine the home's value. The last leg of this journey is closing your loan. While taking care of any last-minute details, our closing team will work on scheduling your closing date and location. It's that simple. Thank you for taking some time to walk through the mortgage path with us. Remember, we're always here to answer any questions you may have. It may seem intimidating, but here at Norcom Mortgage, we make homes happen.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
Providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
Coming here, you're not just like an ordinary patient. You're actually like treated like a family member, and like you're treated like he actually gets to know you and makes you smile.
Welcome to New Tampa Pediatric Dental, and we are the Bees!
Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Hi, I'm Derek Brooks, former linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. During my NFL career, I realized the importance of giving back and started my foundation, Derek Brooks Charities. We help Tampa Bay youth prepare for a successful life through our college prep and mentoring programs. Our goal is to see youth excel academically and develop strong characters and be better citizens for tomorrow. To further our mission, we've teamed up with Fun Night, a company that gives members access to thousands of nationwide discounts on products and services they buy every day. These include entertainment, retail purchases, dining, and travel. Best of all, 33% of every membership fee goes to the charity of your choice. We love being able to save our supporters money while giving them a unique opportunity to support our charitable work in the community. I invite you to consider using Fun Night to save money and give back to your favorite cause. Visit www.funnight.us to sign up now and get a free 30-day trial. Save money, help others with Fun Night, and support Derek Brooks Charities.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. We're here with Jamie Meloni, one of the top listing agents right here in the country, right here live with us in the studio. I can't believe I'm in the same room as you.
I know. We are definitely honored.
You know what? And we joke so much about in our opening, with the bank robbery scene, and that, we have to remember that that's really, Jamie represents the bank. We're listing all these REO properties, and the banks are taking it in the shorts. And it's really his job to try to help work with the asset managers and the banks to get as much money, recover as much as he can for the banks. Mm-hmm. So he understands the process of, the listing and what are they kind of looking for in terms of offers and so forth. But right now, Jimmy, what do you see the market trend right now? I mean, where are we going with prices and, low ball offers? Could we really steal that house today? I know you had a bigger gun than us today, but we really wanted that $250,000 house for $30,000. And with that big gun, there was no way we backed down. We're like, whoa, you're the king here,
Well, in the Tampa Bay market, values, peaked in 2006 roughly, and then they've been on pretty much a steady decline. And I'd say the bottom of the market was 2012. That's when a number of institutional investors flooded the market with the intent of buy and hold, especially in the newer subdivisions in the southeastern Hillsborough County. And they have pushed up values between 10 to 25% in many of these communities.
Wow.
And they've really forced out a lot of the first-time buyers and that's where the statistic of 40-50% cash control market comes from. There was 5 major institutional investors that were controlling the market for any homes 1990 and newer. Older homes, you weren't competing with them as much. They wanted the newer stuff post 1990 because the building standards were better at that time.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
And they were more easily rentable. And with everybody leaving the market through foreclosure, they saw a big opportunity in the rental market, and rents are at an all-time high right now.
Right.
And their theory, based on Wall Street analysis, is that in 8 years from 2012, the market was going to re-peak in these major markets, Tampa Bay being one of them. But they did this across the country. Phoenix and Atlanta, Miami, and LA.
Lost wages.
Yeah.
And now who is the they? Who?
Institutional investors, hedge funds out of Wall Street. Blackstone. Yeah, there's a number.
Did I say that out loud?
There's a number. They're just funds that the average.
That's Jamie Meloni, by the way.
They're just funds that the average investor just pulled money into, and they're down here buying all these properties. Now, I will say that since values have now come up so much, that their buying appetite has been severely impacted, and values are now stabilized, and they're now inventory is building. Last year at this time, I was harping on the fact that we were at record low inventories. Hillsborough County carrying about 4,000 active units, when historically it should be around 8,000, 9,000.
Oh, wow.
And when I started in 2007, it was at 16,000. And every property had multiple offers on it. But now we're trending upward. We're about probably 6,000 or 7,000 active units. I haven't looked at it lately. But prices are now under pressure to start to decline. I'm not saying substantially, but we're seeing a lot of properties now not get the multiple offers that we once were seeing.
That we're seeing for a while.
And we've seen a few of these investors leave town, basically. The prices have come up too much to where
they got scared of your big gun.
They got scared of my gun, correct.
They're like, Jamie's got a gun.
So we're kind of falling a little bit more into realistic.
That was Aerosmith, by the way.
I know, who happens to be the best rock and roll band of all time, I might add. Yes, ever.
What would your
Him and I have been having this feud for 20 years.
So, we got REO Speedwagon and Jamie's got a gun.
Janie's got a gun, yeah.
No, it's okay. Today it's you. Okay? All about you.
I've been telling all of the buyers that call me for pre-qualifications and such, if you're going in, if you really like the house, you need to go in with your highest and best offer, because it is not the buyer's market that it used to be. Our inventory is way down. If you really like the house, go in with your highest and best offer. Good advice?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I see offers all day long, and lowball offers don't ever go anywhere. You're just wasting your time by submitting offers. If you're not within about 10% of the list price, unless it's an aged property and you're coming with the cash, those guys can sometimes pick up a pretty good deal off of the current list price. But if the property is just listed at $150,000 and you're giving me an offer at $100,000, it's almost just like I want to just say, go away.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have to present all offers. All offers do get submitted.
Even at $150,000, people have to understand there's still a great value in that property compared to other markets.
They say, well, I want a deal, Well, it is a deal.
If it's listed at 150 and you come in with 150 or even above, that doesn't mean you're not getting a great value for a property.
Yeah, and it's sometimes maybe priced a little bit on the high side, but don't come in at $100,000. Number one, you're just going to irritate the seller or the asset manager because their own view is unrealistic. So even if your intent is to negotiate all the way up to 140, 145, you're really shooting yourself in the foot because now you've just irritated the seller with some lowball offer. It's not advisable, and so I wouldn't do it.
So I think he gets irritated with lowball offers. What did you pick up on?
They're definitely time consuming. We have to present them all. But where people are getting confused is the investors who, aged properties that are on the market who come in with a lower cash offer. Yeah, those guys can pick up some offers. And I've got a number of investors who every day email me an offer on one of my properties, and they go through the entire MLS and offer on everything in there. And they have a formula, basically list price divided by 2, and that's my offer. So
wow.
Yeah,
and
pretty
they pretty much very, very rarely get picked up, I take it.
Yeah, it's sometimes, but.
You've been doing this for like 8 years, so you've kind of seen both ends of the market and in between. That's kind of a good snapshot.
I came into the market post crash. I didn't know the good days in 2004 and 5 and before. No, I came in when I shouldn't have. Fortunately,
way to go. Hilarious.
Yeah. Fortunately, I made a couple of good contacts and a couple of good moves, and worked hard and got to the position I am in now.
Yeah.
Ask him what his previous job was.
No, I don't want to ask him. So what did you do before, Jamie? We already know this, by the way.
So what did I do before? Yeah, I was a chemical analyst, and I was a chemist.
A nighttime
comedian. Yes, that was never our actual profession, but I was
comedian, realtor. It fits.
No, the business world kind of sucked a comedic phase out of my life and stuff. But I was an amateur open micer for about a year in my early 20s. But that was never a profession. That was just a hobby.
Can we tell everybody what you told us earlier about why you don't do that anymore?
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
So he doesn't do any comical comedian stuff anymore because he's now in real estate, and he says it's kind of sucked the life out of him. So
doesn't it all figure that, I think to be in this business you have to be a bit insane anyway, period,
Yeah,
and you came in when everything was going down, so that's funny.
Yeah.
But talk about from the bottom up there, because that was the bottom. All right, so tell people what I really want to kind of get across on the REO properties, the differences between if it's owned by Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, or
HUD or any of the other banks
Wells
or servicers.
Fargo.
Right. And you got to keep in mind there's not just the banks out there. Another major player that's coming into the market are not necessarily the large institutional investors, but the smaller investment groups, because Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, HUD, all the banks pool these loans, these bad loans, and they sell them either in auctions or in pool sales. And a pool sale is just, here's 100 properties, you bid on it, and then you get it. And so investors are becoming a large part of the REO market, although technically they're not REOs at that point, they're investment properties. But a lot of agents will put them up on the MLS as REO properties. And so that's another segment of the default market that's out there as well. One of the things you got to keep in mind also when negotiating on a foreclosed property, the biggest point I always make to buyers when they say, well, why won't they do this or why won't they do that? Number one, you're dealing with an unemotional seller. It's not a traditional seller. There's no emotion. You're dealing with an employee of a company. It's numbers, and they have a certain metric they've got to meet. You give me an offer. The guy looks at the BPO. He looks at time on market, and he's allowed to bid down to a certain price within a time frame. And it is completely unemotional. And if you walk away, if you threaten this, you threaten that, they really don't mind or they don't care. And the guy goes, Yeah, it just, you know, they go
They don't
home.
care that you have your kids that you want to go to this elementary school.
Right, they're just doing their job, and so.
Remember our whole show we did about how to win the bidding war? And we
Yes.
said one of the things we suggested was write a letter and tell them about your situation. And
Yeah,
why
that would
you
work
like
with
it.
normal
So-
seller.
Yeah, if you had a normal seller, it works. I get that sometimes with the banks, and I send it in, but they don't even comment on that. They keep the emotion out of
It
it.
goes in the shredder.
Unfortunately, yeah, you
They're
can
kind
say
of
that.
underwriters, right? You know, they have to, you know,
Easy.
to do their job
Underwriters
right.
Watch our show. Be nice. Be nice.
No, but for them to do their job right, they have to take all emotion out of it, and they just have to look at does the numbers work or do the numbers work? not
Yeah,
does
and
the
they, you know,
numbers
they
work.
have to answer. They have to answer to you know, management, and the management has to ultimately answer to the investor whose money's on the line at that time. And so, yeah, lowball offers aren't going to go anywhere, and you're dealing with an unemotional seller. So keep that in mind up front. Now, we spoke in the first half of the show about HUD and how the offers are presented. If you're presenting offers to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, or any of the other banks and servicers, those go through listing agents. Fannie Mae uses homepath.com. All the offers go to that, but that is really just a holding cell for offers. A lot of people think when they submit the offers to homepath.com, they go directly to Fannie Mae like they do with HUD. They do not. They go into a holding cell where the listing agent takes them, and then we have to re-enter them into another system. So it's kind of a time waster.
Kind of like a prison ward.
Yeah, it kind of
I got this visual in my head. All these agents in this cell, like entering these offers.
Yeah,
is that how it is?
It is. Yeah, I mean, offer management is a very time-consuming part of the business with REOs because we get so many, and we get so many low ones, but we have to, you know, handle them all. Right. But yeah, so that's a key point I want to make. That when you submit an offer to homepath.com, it's not going to Fannie Mae. They can go into the system and look if there's a dispute or something, but they're not in there looking. The listing agents take it from the HomePath system, and then we have to resubmit it into the Equator system, which is our task management system. And so just keep that in mind. Freddie Mac properties, they don't use an online system. Those who hire the listing agent wants those presented. The biggest point I always make to selling agents is follow whatever the listing agent's instructions are. We're inundated with work, and agents don't follow instructions. A lot of listing agents will have links to e-broker house accounts where they can upload the offer to that. Other want them emailed. But the bottom line, just follow the instructions. Make sure you review the attachments in MLS for any addendums that need to be submitted with the offer. And as long as you follow all instructions and communicate with the listing agents, there's no reason your offer shouldn't be presented and responded to in a timely manner.
Sounds like we need to attend this 1.5 hour training.
I'm just sitting here thinking, and I would imagine you have all of this information or helpful information to agents on your website or something that they can, I'm sure that they want to do a good job and they want to make the best offer, but if they don't know how.
There's a lot of information on my, I don't have my website, TampaBayRadio.com, because I do a radio show Mondays at noon on 1250 WHNZ. Yes. You can see all of my prior shows, and I cover a lot of this stuff. So yeah, if you watch my podcast and my streamcast, yeah, you'll pick up a lot of this information. I've had a number of different guests, and I cover a number of these different topics. So just peruse through the show info tab there and pick up the topic that you're interested in learning in, yes.
Excellent. Now, so that people know too, are there differences? I know the answer, but between Fannie Mae and a bank?
There are some differences. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Department of Housing and Urban Development, and the VA properties, they're considered to be GSEs, government servicing entities. So they're exempt from certain transactional fees that the typical seller would pay. For instance, the doc stamps on the deed, which is a state transfer tax in the state of Florida, equal to 70 cents per $100 of the purchase price. It's a promulgated rate.
Sellers, which is a big chunk that
it is.
now falls on the buyer.
It is. It's a state
if you're buying a Fannie Mae or a Freddie Mac owned property.
Just extra money they need to bring to closing.
Yeah, the buyer will be paying that on a GSE property. If it's one of the other banks, Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, they're not exempted from that. And the state contract defaults to the seller paying that, and in a traditional sale, the seller would pay that anyways. So yeah, the seller is going to cover that in that situation. The other big fee in a closing transaction outside of the loan costs is the title insurance.
More expensive?
No, absolutely. The title insurance with Department of Housing and Urban Development, the HUD properties, the buyer pays the title insurance. Buyer also selects the closing agent. That's a difference with a lot of the other banks. In any transaction, the buyer is always welcome to use their own closing company, but a seller is going to also use their closing company to represent them to prepare the deed, and there will be an additional closing fee on top of that if you use your own closing company to provide title insurance. But if you use the bank's title company with all the other banks outside of HUD, they'll pay that fee traditionally.
You bring up a good point with closing costs on everything.
I think we gotta go to break.
We
You
gotta go
can't
to
ask
break.
another
Okay.
question.
All right. I'm gonna ask one last question.
No, you're done. You ask it next show.
I
okay?
said when we
well.
come back. We're going to break. We'll be back in just a minute.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
My name is Dr. Becerra from New Tampa Pediatric Dental, providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
When I go to Dr. B, they don't do anything to hurt you. I used to be afraid, but I'm not now. I'm not afraid of the dentist anymore. I love to see Dr. B.
Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
The environment here is really kid-friendly, family-friendly. The parents are welcome to watch.
It's definitely been a different atmosphere since Dr. Becerra has come on. It's very inviting and welcoming, and the children just enjoy coming here all around.
My middle son did not like to come to the dentist, but now he loves to come to the Beehive.
You don't have to be afraid to go to the dentist.
Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Mortgages don't need to be complicated. At Norcom, we're here to guide you through the process. By following our tried and true path to success, we make homes happen. To get started, give us a call or apply online. A trusted mortgage consultant will reach out to you to find out what your goals are. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new home or refinance your current home, we are dedicated to helping you achieve your goals. At Norcom, we'll provide a best-in-class customer experience. Once a plan is established, your mortgage consultant will analyze your income, assets, and credit profile in order to customize a plan for you. If you're planning on moving in the next few years, we might suggest an adjustable rate mortgage to be the best option for you. If you're a veteran, we'll get you started on a VA loan with 0% down. And if you're thinking long-term, a 30-year fixed loan might be your best fit. Our professionals are up to date on market trends and will help you make the best decision in choosing your rate. After we've found the program that's best for you, we'll then need to collect some information, including pay stubs, bank statements, and tax forms. Our underwriting team steers a loan through the approval process to verify that all the information you've provided is correct. As the underwriting process is taking place, an appraisal is ordered to determine the value of your home. A professional, local appraiser specializing in your area will determine the home's value. The last leg of this journey is closing your loan. While taking care of any last-minute details, our closing team will work on scheduling your closing date and location. It's that simple. Thank you for taking some time to walk through the mortgage path with us. Remember, we're always here to answer any questions you may have. It may seem intimidating, but here at Norcom Mortgage, we make homes happen.
This is one bee that loves going to the dentist because it's made for you and me.
Providing a comfortable atmosphere in early dental care. Gives kids a great start for healthy teeth and gums for life.
Coming here, you're not just like an ordinary patient. You're actually like treated like a family member, and like you're treated like he actually gets to know you and makes you smile.
Welcome to New Tampa Pediatric Dental, and we are the Bees!
Call New Tampa Pediatric Dental today.
Hi, I'm Derek Brooks, former linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. During my NFL career, I realized the importance of giving back and started my foundation, Derek Brooks Charities. We help Tampa Bay youth prepare for a successful life through our college prep and mentoring programs. Our goal is to see youth excel academically and develop strong characters and be better citizens for tomorrow. To further our mission, we've teamed up with Fun Night, a company that gives members access to thousands of nationwide discounts on products and services they buy every day. These include entertainment, retail purchases, dining, and travel. Best of all, 33% of every membership fee goes to the charity of your choice. We love being able to save our supporters money while giving them a unique opportunity to support our charitable work in the community. I invite you to consider using Fun Night to save money and give back to your favorite cause. Visit www.funnight.us to sign up now and get a free 30-day trial. Save money, help others with Fun Night, and support Derek Brooks Charities.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, with Jamie Meloni, our banker, our comedian, our lab tech. He does it all, actually.
Who's really a realtor.
Yeah, he's really a real estate professional.
Incredible wealth of information here.
Really been. I've actually learned.
I mean, I've missed all the cues for our breaks just because I've been so engrossed in.
You guys should just go sit in the corner. And,
I know. He thinks he's leaving after this. No, he's not. You have a million questions.
But no, we're really thankful he's here, and he's provided a lot of great information today. So I think we're going to wrap up here.
Wait.
DeLynn just wants to talk. Listen, I'm going to go.
One more question. No, one more question, and I promise, and then I'll let you go. But not really. We were talking about closing costs and everything. One of the things, and I think that there's a lot of people who are afraid. We work with a lot of first-time home buyers, obviously, or even moving up buyers. They don't have a lot of money for closing costs too, and the sellers are allowed to contribute closing costs up to 6% in programs, 3% in other programs. The big question that I have, and a lot of people think not, do the REO properties, do the banks and Fannie and Freddie will they pay some of the closing costs?
Yes. Important.
Big myth out there. I think people think that they won't.
Yeah, important to keep HUD separate from everybody else. HUD caps the closing cost assistance at 3%, and on top of that, you got to add the cost of title insurance and doc stamps to the buyer side of the good faith estimate. So that eats up a lot of the cost right there. In a typical REO, when the average sales price of an REO is $80,000. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and all the other banks, absolutely. But keep in mind, if they're looking to get that certain net list price. So if it's $150,000. Don't offer $150,000 and 6% towards closing costs. Consider offering over list price and then with the concessions, given that it'll still appraise. And that's where you got to talk with your agent. Do we have room to offer over the list price of this property, and will it appraise? So that's an important point to keep in mind when you do that.
Right. And most of the time, is there room there, or are they pretty much rock bottom? I guess it's all over the place. Huh?
It is, but yeah, they absolutely will contribute towards closing costs, and so just put it on the offer. Don't be afraid to negotiate stuff up front. Effective offers with the banks, the things we're looking at are the full loan approval. We're always wanting to know that the buyer has full loan approval, although it's not common. That definitely strengthens your offer. Don't just come in with a pre-qualification letter. Obtain full loan approval prior to submitting an offer so that the only contingencies on your contract, appraisal and title. Secondly, we'll get an inspection period. Keep the inspection period short, 7 days and under. A great negotiating tactic is to start with a low inspection period, and then if you need, request an extension to your inspection period after you have the property under contract. A lot of people just want to come in with some crazy 15, 20 days. Don't do that. Come in 5 to 7, and then get it under contract, and then submit an extension addendum. Yeah. And then
I'm the hard one.
And then, of course, price need to be within 5 to 10% on a newly listed property. Even if it's overpriced, I completely understand it. You don't want to lowball properties unless they're 60, 90 days plus on the market. And when I say lowball, don't do 50%. Right. I'm talking maybe 20 to 30% at that point. And even then, you still don't have a great chance of getting. They typically sell between 5 and 10, with many of the properties that are going on the market selling over list price. Banks underprice properties very frequently.
That is really good.
That's some really good information.
This show has been fantastic. Thank you, Jamie. I cannot thank you enough.
Hey,
this has been
wonderful. We didn't even talk about anything about the Rays today or football.
I do know the Rays are doing good. I keep up on Facebook that they're doing great.
Actually, the 9-game winning streak ended yesterday. Actually, the day before yesterday, depending on when you watch this show. So it's live right now.
Yeah.
But we're back on a winning streak again. They won again. So it's good to see them playing.
So does that mean they're going to be like in the
In the Super Bowl, yeah.
In the Super Bowl? That's exactly what I was thinking. But I didn't say it because I know Super Bowl isn't the right term.
Yep.
World Series.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Very good. No, they're not going to be in the World Series yet.
Okay.
So we'll get Jamie's prediction on that. Who's your team?
For which, the Super Bowl or the Rays?
It doesn't really matter. I think this was some great information. We need to wrap up. So get this out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Share it, email it out, support, check out Jamie's radio show.
Yeah, I was just going to say 1250, right?
Yeah, 1250 WHNZ. You can find it on my website, tampabayradio.com.
And your Mondays at noon.
Mondays at noon, yes.
And you also have the shows that you can pull up and you can rewatch some of his shows with all of
it's right there in the background.
information.
Yeah, it's right there in the background.
I think it's important that people know that they need to work with an educated real estate professional that can help guide them through this. I mean, it's a hornet's nest out there, you know,
is.
And get with a great mortgage professional too. I mean, somebody who's educated and they can work together, because there's a lot more to this market than people realize.
Than what your parents might have gone through years ago.
Exactly. So, your dad's old Oldsmobile isn't going to drive you through this market, okay? It's just not going to be there. So,
thanks everyone for watching. We appreciate your support. We are today and every day
moving forward.
We will see everybody next week.
The first time.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.